This means that Russell Gould, him and Mark Richardson and anyone else who's a teacher or a postmaster in quantum is guilty under their own matrix of the violations. Why? Because the question here on what is time, answer, according to our Nuwabian clock, which we call Yamassee clock, our day begins from the end of the 38th har and ends at the 19th har. Our shadow hours begin from the 19th har and ends at the 38th har. When one point ends, another point begins. It keeps happening because time is consistent. What the evil one did was dice it up and then gave it to you. So if there is a day a craft is going to come, those people are not going to make it on going by his time codes or zone. They bite pieces of time from their Gregorian calendar to keep it consistent. You have to learn real time again, and you can't as long as you are trapped within the noun. That's what caught my attention. Because within the noun is what? A prepositional phrase, which is a part of the spell by one person, two places, and three things. These 3 points, along with the fourth point, forms a tetrahedron, which I will explain. This tetrahedron has 3 points, which are one person, two places, three things. These 3 points is what the spell is working from. And you can't even begin to conceive what is on the fourth point because you are trapped in the 3 points of person, places, and things. The tetrahedron works off the principle of as above, so below. The tetrahedron, when rotating, makes a vortex. You would see 4 points making a square. I'm skipping down now. All humans' thoughts are coming out of a mental bank called a mental reservoir, which is your tetrahedron. Even if you try hard enough, you cannot think outside of the 3 principles: 1, person; 2, place; 3, thing. 1, solid; 2, liquid; 3, gas. You are caught on 1, 2, 3. Refer to scroll number 110. What is spirit and soul? There was a time when you were able to think outside of person, place, or things. Your concept of thinking is responding. You must first respond. I think. 1, myself first; 2, then 2, people I like; then 3, everybody else. Now, what about the fourth reference? That would come into godlyhood. The reference to your total intellect in that point is a tetrahedron. A pyramid is not your reference. A pyramid implies that there is a base to your reference. The implication of a tetrahedron is that it is moving to the next realm. The tetrahedron is a perfect reference for us. So when Black people use quantum and cannot get remedy, the quantum was supposed to tell them, oh, you're Black or African American, you need to change your race and ethnicity to white. But see, they can't do that within the noun, which is what? The quantum sparse syntax language. David was asked the question, what was the oldest language? And he said Gothic. So from the time I heard that, I was like, okay, he knows already this has to deal with us. The dark dot, that is what's prevalent in the universe. That you go into that book, African Origins of Biological Psychiatry, and they talk about, they say the black dot, but I syntax it properly, the dark dot. So all of this here, for the race claims, I had to redo that in quantum. When I put it in quantum, that means if they're not talking about race, which is part of every contract on the planet, what do? They keep statistics and data based on race in every country. Health, how you shop, where you go, how many mortgages, houses, all of that. So Russell Gould, Mark is the Black man, first of all. Russell Gould is pale. So that means these guys should know, ought to know, must know, we are the original peoples of the planet. And as such, the earth is out of line. Everything is out of balance with nature. They have to assist in us being put back in our position and balancing nature out. They're not doing that. So that means their only concern is about advancing paleness, which is a genetic mutation. And that was, revealed by Professor Jin Lee and Dr. Keith Chang, both of which are Asian. So they already know the supreme gene, the supreme beings are us. And so they are the mutation. So imagine how that affects their psyche, knowing that, yes, you have to keep us in a degenerate state and constantly keep us down to prevent us from coming back awake, because it was prophesied, appreciation of Bobby Hemmett, we knew we were going to fall asleep 5,000 years before it happened. You understand how deep that is? That we knew we were going to fall asleep 5,000 years before it actually happened. Said, okay, we got to teach these Amorites, let them be our custodians while we go to sleep, because nature operates in what? Cycles. So we knew there's a point, well, listen, we're holding on for as much as we want, then okay, we got to sleep. That's what has to happen. So the quicker we sleep, the quicker we wake up. Now, as we're waking up and this generation of children are waking up, we're starting to see all of the damage that these Amorites have done. So there's nobody on the planet that is going to assist you in getting everything right when you are in a black status. That's a fraudulent contract. That's a setup. Because if I'm an Amorite judge, you come to quantum, oh, she's African-American, great, I can avoid all of that, because the legal maxim says what? Fraud voids a contract ab initio. So when black has no standing at law and you're contracting, signing contracts, then there's a dispute. Oh, they could turn around, even if the other party breached the agreement against you, they can still win, because you weren't supposed to be contracting in the first place because you have no standing at law. Dred Scott decision has not been overturned. The Constitution is a dead document. So what is the remedy that you all use? They can't give you the answer. David can't do it. Well, he's dead conveniently. Russell can't say it. Mark keeps dodging every time we keep hitting him, and I have Talkins that I train that are asking him questions. So what is the problem? Because we are the original people on the planet. That will affect every contract on the planet. That will affect every government. That will affect mining companies. That will affect BET. That will affect record companies. Everything gets affected, because they'll say every contract that was done fraudulently and did not disclose that the other party who was black or African American or a person of color or Negro, they were not entitled. They don't have equal protection under the law, because Dred Scott is still on the books. Therefore, they can be violated.
That's deep. And you know what? I knew there was a big cavern. I just knew there was a big hole in this thing. I just couldn't get there. I knew something was wrong in my spirit. Does that make sense? I knew something was wrong, but I just couldn't articulate what it was that I was trying to get to. But I'm telling you that SF-181 has been on my desk for 6 months, and I was like, this has something to do with that, but I just couldn't draw the parallels. I just couldn't get it together. And what you just explained makes perfectly good sense.
So that is why I'm telling people, if they go fill that form out, they're on their own, because that is a different realm. You're actually gonna, in other words, you're challenging the reptiles in the tank that we're all, the aquarium that we're all swimming in. So you can't put a person that's a white belt against a black belt. You can get their ass wiped up easily. So they need to have what? Training, because they've been
Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh my God. This is fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, this is real. Kick me out.
I just didn't know if everybody else was thoroughly interested in what we were talking about.
Oh, they are.
This is what you just expressed here, that every contract on the planet will be affected if they recognize that Dred Scott has not been overturned. There's no remedy at this moment unless, and the only other thing we're saying right now is we have this quote unquote SF 181. Now, I'm just gonna say what my thoughts were, Okay, this is prior to me meeting you, right? Knowing you. And obviously, this is really important because I was like, he has the answers I think that I'm searching for. At one point in time, I was like, so am I going to have to take this SF 181 myself and syntax it? I said, I don't think that's the answer.
No, you can't say, I've already done that. So you don't have to do it.
I was going to do it. I was going to do it myself. I was just going to write up a quantum document and then syntax the SF 181 and then send it in and not sign this one here. And then I still said, no, I don't think that's the total answer. I know I could do that on everything else, but this thing, where did he go? Okay, there you go. I just don't think that's the answer.
The answer is to get white. Every contract that you've done, you have to have, what did Barack say? Black has no standing at law. I have to
go back and redo the contracts that I have done this far.
Yes. And this is so with for example, with Russell, he probably won't accept your statutory claim. I mean, your claim of the life, but you could send the claim of the life or a copy of it back to him and say, this is fraud. Because he's pushing that. Same thing I said to Mark in the UK. What does black mean? What does it mean? And they're trying to dance around the fact that race doesn't matter in contracts.
It means everything now. It means every freaking thing.
So if he's not talking about it in the UK and people from the US are using Mark as some kind of a beacon who supposedly took over from David, Russell is somewhere in Colorado or whatever because he had a meeting.
I'll give you the background on that. Russell has a list of people that he is not contracting with, or he's saying he's not in alignment with. We can use any term that you want. They ain't on the same page. Mark Hassan is one of them, and David is the other one. Because he said David created a lot of problems that he's still having to clean up. So there was some bad blood. And he's openly talked about it. He has some videos that are on his website, Last Flag Standing, that actually talks about what David did to him, what David did to the US, what David did to Quantum. So he actually has outed, oh my God, this shit happened and I can't believe it, but it did. So he's been very forthcoming about
that.
The sneaky behavior. I'm getting to where you're talking. He's been very forthcoming about the sneaky behavior of David, of how, like you let the wolf come in sheep's clothing kind of situation. And Mark Hashan, that's a no-go. So those two guys and him, and I'm not speaking for him, this is just my impression of what I heard, fair enough, is that they ain't on the same page. And he's not in agreement with their practices. Now, getting to the claim of the life, me and how am I going to resolve this blackness, whiteness, American Indian-ish, is I get that there is a hole in my claim of the life because of the way that I look, or what I've stated in the past, what I signed off on, what my parents might have signed off on. I get that.
Not the claim, the quantum. The claim is that claim of the, I'm saying the whole, listen.
You're saying
the whole. None of these people, listen to what I'm saying. If none of these people, David, Russell, or any of these people who's teaching sovereignty, or any of these new agers, or people in religion are not telling Black people, African Americans, Africans, people of color, Latino Americans, Latinos, they're not telling them they are actually white in commerce. They are committing genocide. That is what I'm saying. Is everybody hearing what I'm saying? If you're in agreement, put it in the chat. You can't have it both ways. You can't worship a Michael Jordan as an athlete, but then when you see a Black person on the street, they're going to get mistreated, because that's a confession that there's a caste system, and the US has a caste system because they got their caste system from where? India. Because the East Indians are the black man. We are not the black man. That's why I laugh at Farrakhan like, come on, man, you 80-something years old, you still teaching that black stuff? The East Indian is the black man. Y'all are deities for those of you that choose to. So I'm saying the quantum is fraud because you can't have people who are black looking for remedy coming to your meeting and then you're not telling them, hey, you can't do this quantum until you get standing at law.
You fix your status. So step one should have been fix your status, then do quantum. I heard what you said.
Any black person doing UCC, same thing. You're not going to get remedy because what? They're going to look at the social security number. The numerative record has not been changed. If the numerative record is not changed, they're still going to see you as what? African American
So
black.
you're saying since the foundational document was not done, everything that was built upon it is no good.
Thank you.
Okay,
that's my point. And this is
I got
what
a headache now. I got a headache. Not really a headache, but
you need to get some water. When people come on my webinar, I say, get your water and start drinking the water because I download.
You know what, Russell? I'm going to say this. Now, I know you said that you, beautiful Deborah, you got it. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that, Saul. Thank you so much. I know that from the most part, Russell is approachable. So I'm going to leave it for that. I'm going to approach him with my concern from what we just discussed here, because it has been a concern of mine. Like I said, I just didn't know why this SF-181 been sitting on my desk for 6 months and I couldn't move. I was like, this is paramount to something and I don't have an answer.
Because you're black. You're a black woman. Black has no standing at law.
Hey, dude, I heard you now. Now I'm going, you're laughing at me. I'm going to talk to him myself personally.
Yes.
Now, I might not have an answer for you. No, I guarantee you I'm going to get an answer. Oh, did you hear what I said? I'm going to get an answer. I'm going to get, the girl's going to get an answer. I'm sorry, I just got black on you. I'm just quote unquote black, hot, white power.
Told you 40 years, you got to purge that black woman out you. It's going to happen overnight.
That was me being funny. It was just me being silly based upon what we just talked about. I won't have an answer for it. I know you have your 30 days, your month timeline to get.
No, we got 6 months.
Okay, got you. I'm committing that by the end of this month,
yes,
I will have an answer.
Great. I can wait. I'm patient.
And I would like to know if before I talk to Russell, can you and I have a conversation again?
Yes.
Because I would love to approach him in a loving manner with all of the things that I
love is evil. Sure love is evil.
Oh God. Can you just go with what
no, they don't get, these Amorites aren't getting an inch. They didn't give us an inch.
Okay,
they don't get an inch from me.
My volition is
mine. I'm saying I agree with what you're saying. You want to approach him. Yes, you can be calm, you can be demeanor, but I'm not. I would recommend.
I just want to have my ducks in a row. I want to have my ducks in a row. I'm going to go talk to him about something that is concerning to me.
Yes.
I want to make sure that I have all of the points of reference. And I'm saying before I do that, I want to communicate with you so I can be prepared to have this kind of conversation with him, because I do believe that he's approachable. That's all I'm saying. Yes,
and I can accept. That's why I said, send me a private chat and I can forward you this email. You said
private chat.
Yeah.
You mean right here? You mean like right here?
Go into chat, and when you go into chat, you'll see, or pardon me, participants. Click on participants. You'll see me up at the top. There's 3 little buttons that's to the right there. You should be able to click on.
Oh, I see you. I see. Okay.
And you just
I got you. I got you.
And then I can forward that. The email to you now, so you have it. You'll have a term of reference, and then once you have the term of reference, then you'll be good to go.
I'm giving you my email address now. I just gave you my phone number, okay?
Phone number, hold on, let me write it down. Who's up next? Siobhan, Tay. Anyone who had a question, I was gonna ask.
Oh,
the next question, I lost
Thank
it.
you, thank you, thank you.
So I lost it, so because once I get kicked out, the chat is removed for me. So what you're gonna have to do is re-put in your questions, re-put it if I have documents to prove for you, please, people. Because I got kicked out, so when they kick me out, the screen goes blank. Okay. So I'll have that information. So when you look at the quantum, it's just like I was at True North Alliance up here in Toronto, or Ontario, somewhere in Ontario. And I went on there and I told the Amorites I'm white. I said, don't let this fool you. I'm white. I said, if y'all can name me a black racial group of Africa, please put it in the chat. Nobody said anything, about 75 Amorites. So I asked the guy there, I said, listen, what solution do you have for black people? You're telling them to use common law, which goes back to England, but you have to have standing at law in order to use common law. So what is your remedy for black people? And he couldn't give me one, but he said, if you have a solution, present that. It was presented, they got it. What did they do? Nothing. Pale supremacy. That's
Okay.
what this is.
We're gonna make this happen.
I'll wait. I'm waiting. I will wait. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. Let's see. Shavandi, you're up now, and then Kevin. So Shavandi, you're up now, then Kevin, then Soraya, and then Shanette. All right, so much appreciated, Deborah. Let me just write your. Okay, proton mail. Okay, just writing down your email. So that's capital L and capital N, correct?
Yes, but I think it could come through either way.
All
It's
right.
a proton mail.
Yeah, got it. All right, much appreciated, Deborah. All right. Where is Shavonde? Where's Shavonde? Greetings, Shavonde. How are you? Yeah, turn your mic on.
Greetings.
Greetings. What city, state, or country are you from?
Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia. Greetings. What brings you up here? Is this your first time on?
This is my first time.
All right. So I'm all ears. Go right
Oh, I
ahead.
don't have it was answered. I was trying to figure out how to do the video because I did it incorrectly.
Okay. So the video should be done this way. You can have somebody record you on their camera or your camera, it doesn't matter, but you're gonna do the magnets, get the magnets, metal magnets, pot, spoon, or heavy metal on your right here. And both arms. People are sending me one side. I'm not even gonna listen to them. I'm gonna diss them. I'll kick them to the curb. I want both shoulders, not just do one side of everything. It's gotta be both. Because people who take the shot, they could have gotten it either in both arms or two shots on one side. And I don't know that. So that's the first thing. So the magnets, right within this area here, on your shoulders up here, magnets, pot, spoon, or some kind of metal pipe or something. That's the second thing. Light bulb, and keep it on the spot so people can see. So you might have to go sideways so people can see that it's touching your skin. And then of course the QR code, see if a QR code shows up. That's it.
Okay.
That could take about 40 seconds.
Okay.
So that's all you have to do. So for the first time we let you on, afterward, that's it. So we're gonna start screening people now that if they haven't done the video, they can't come on until they do the video. So after this shadow hour, that video has to be sent in. We're not even gonna send the link out anymore.
Okay,
All right, because they're not playing around out here.
okay.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, much appreciated. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, watch the videos, take notes. All right?
All right.
All right. Let's see here. Kevin. Where's Kevin? I see you there, Kevin. All right, turn your mic on.
Greetings.
Greetings. What city, state, or country are you in?
Orlando, Florida.
Florida. All right,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. So I have a couple questions. I filled out the 181 form.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure. I thought there was more to setting it out, so I'm gonna ask for guidance on that.
Mhm.
I didn't put a native.
Have you
I didn't
done
put
the video
American
yet?
Indian.
Have you
Sorry?
done the video yet?
No, I have done a video, but I think my video was kind of long compared, and I sent it. I sent it out. I have to look. I don't know if it was yesterday, but I did it. It was like mine was pretty long.
How long is
Um,
long?
It looked like it was like about, let me look at it. I think like about 4 or 5 minutes because they had to send it out as Google something. It took forever to load. But
Oh,
let me
it's a
just
Google Drive. Let me see here.
I'll show you.
Oh, hold on. I gotta go here. This is where I'm gonna go.
I'll show you. Hold on.
All right, so I'm just logging into my Tafalat.
Okay. I'm gonna look for it.
Okay, so
Oh, almost there.
yeah, so when did you send that out?
July 30th. Let me see if I can open it. It's a pre-screen for COVID vax or PCR test.
Mm-hmm.
And